City of Zanesville Public. Please listen to this message. She pushes redials. You doing it over and over because you pay it. I'm surprised you have.
Oh, thanks. I recorded that. I appreciate you saying that. You want to say it a little bit louder for the camera? Who's speaking?
Please listen to this message as our menu options have changed. Thank you for calling the City of Zanesville. Please listen to this message as our menu options have changed. Please listen to this message as our dispatch.
Yeah, who's speaking?
Dispatcher Sheath, and you can talk to Sergeant Petnon, so hang on just a second.
Oh, really? You guys
Yep.
are going to do something right this time?
You guys are connected. Go ahead.
Good deal.
Morning, Brandon. How you doing?
Well, it'd be better if your dispatchers weren't being abusive and yelling at me on the phone and calling me stupid and all kinds of other names that I'm recording. Maybe you can explain to me why they're acting unprofessional.
What were you calling them?
I think I was saying incompetent because they can't do a simple job and task. Just explaining how their bigotry is getting in the way of their ability to do a simple job.
And what job aren't they doing for you today, Brandon?
Well, it's the same thing. Well, it's actually what you all have been doing, not just them. I mean, they play this little game because they're just the quota hires at the front that are just the fence for you guys. They're not probably capable enough of being actual officers. So you guys just let them abuse people on the phones. It shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, I've talked to you about this multiple times, but for some reason, you guys can't seem to ever remember what the issue is. Do you recall what the
Well,
issue is?
Yeah, you're hearing noises, Brandon.
Oh, I'm hearing noises. What noises are those?
Well, you state they coming from the Stave Company and out on Newark Road, Licking Road.
Okay, and what have you guys done to investigate these claims?
Well, I'll tell you, I've sat up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
Really.
Where did you sit?
I sat right in the parking lot of the Stave Company.
Really? Really? So you
Yeah.
actually went into the county?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised. You guys have been telling me for years you weren't allowed to do that. It's the county's responsibility. You guys can't go into the county, but you went into the county. That's amazing.
I can't enforce any laws out in the county.
Right. Exactly. I've been telling you guys that for years, but you guys refused to do anything, and now all of a sudden you did it. Now what you're saying is what? You sat in the parking lot and you didn't hear anything? Is that what you're saying?
No, yeah, I heard them working.
Okay. At what time did you go there?
It was actually after the last time you and I talked, Brandon.
Okay. What time in the night? What time in the morning? What time?
I don't know, what time did you call last time you and I talked?
I don't know. Didn't you file a
Well, I
report?
don't
You
either,
you
Brandon.
actually investigated it, so you probably would have filled out a report, right? I mean, that makes sense.
Well, what makes sense is, no, I don't take reports that happen out in the county.
Oh, so you're back to this excuse again, the county. So you're allowed to go into the county to investigate, but then you make excuses that it's in the county. So
Well, sure, I can drive in the county, but like I just told you a second ago, I can't enforce anything in the
Okay.
county, Brandon. You know that.
okay. So when you investigate, so you admit that you heard the noise coming from the county, right? You sat in the parking lot of the
Right.
Stave Company. You heard the noise. You hear the production noise. Now, what part of that noise encroaching not only the city limits but my property limits, trespassing onto my property? That noise is trespassing.
Is it?
Yes, it is. And
Man.
and every time I've called and complained, that's been a trespass charge to these particular operators of these companies that are deciding to disturb the peace. Now, with that being said, each one of these charges added up, according to Ohio Revised Code 3767, that authorizes this constant nuisance problem, authorizes you guys to,
Brandon.
let me finish, investigate the issue, the problem, and then what you guys do is you take your findings, like you just said, you sat in the Stave Company, you heard the production noise, but you didn't do anything. It didn't even sound like you even bothered to report it to the superiors, to your superiors. So you identified the noise, you came out and you investigated, but you didn't bother following through. You didn't pass it off to the police chief or the public safety director or the law director, who, according to Ohio Revised Code 3767, it explains it's their responsibility to follow through and address this issue, to file paperwork with the courts against these operators of these businesses to get them to mitigate their production noise at night. Now, what part about that don't you guys understand?
Hey, what's the in the Ohio Revised Code 3767? What's the definition of nuisance?
Read it.
You read it.
I have read it. You read it. Maybe you
And-
should
and
check
what
with your
is
law
it?
director.
What is it?
I'm not going to get into this debate with you. You can look it
Okay.
up in Black's Law Dictionary if you really want to know the definition. I'm not going to be your teacher.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
just
don't
going to tell you
think
to
you
do
know
your
it.
job because
I
I'm
don't
a
think you know what
man.
the definition is, Brandon.
I'm a man. Well, look it up. I'm not an
No,
encyclopedia.
I
I'm not.
know
I'm not.
what it is. I want to hear it from you.
Really. So
Yeah.
so why is that? Why do you want to hear it from me?
Because I'd like to hear your input on it.
So you're not just trying to be pejorative or just be difficult. You actually honestly want to know something.
Brandon, when have I ever been an asshole or a dickhead or anything to you?
Really? You just were a moment ago. I can back up the recording and play it for you. Hang on a sec. I will give you your answer. Give me 1 second here. Well, okay. So according to Black's Law Dictionary, it says that nuisance is that activity which arises from unreasonable, unwarranted, or unlawful use by a person of his own property, working working obstruction or injury to right of another, or to the public, and producing such material annoyance, inconvenience, and discomfort, and disallowing people to enjoy their property. Is that okay with you? Is that a good enough definition?
What are you looking at? Black's Law?
Yeah, Black's Law Dictionary. It's what the Supreme Court uses. They don't go by Merriam-Webster.
What is it? Merriam-Webster?
No, that's the layman's dictionary. Black's Law is what the Supreme Court uses for legal definitions and lawful definitions. It's pretty simple. All you got to do is go to like Google or any search engine. You type in a word that you want to look up for a definition, and then you put Black's Law next to it. 2 words. Black like the color with an S, plural.
I'm there. Thanks, man.
Okay. And there's different versions over the years of that Black's Law that's been released. So depending on the version you get, there might be a little bit difference in the definitions if there's been changes over the years.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
But they're all pretty much the same.
Their website for them?
No, they're books. The Black's Law dictionaries are books. Usually, what I find is people posting the definitions, like for example, attorneys and dare I say, legal professionals. What they'll do is they'll set up a website and they will put the definitions online for reference.
I got you.
Yeah, and then once you actually get the hard copy of the book in your hands, you can actually what do you call it? Verify it or whatever with the hard copy.
Heck, I'm not even seeing like a website. I see all the law dictionaries for sale and stuff, but
Oh no, you just
seeing it.
like what I did. Here, let me pull it back up here. I don't know why it went away. Page isn't working. Excuse me. But yeah, like for example, I went to my search engine and I typed in nuisance space blacks space law, hit search, and then like the first one that comes up is this definition of nuisance law dictionary, law.com.
I got it now.
Yeah, I mean you can just look. You don't even have to click on the actual links. It gives you the definition right there in the search query results. And then if you want to get a further definition, you can click on the link and it'll break it down even further. But you can see where it's like Black's Law Dictionary, 2nd edition, 3rd edition, and all that kind of stuff. They're different editions. I'm not sure what edition they're on currently, but for the most part, they're all, for lack of better terms, corroborating. The definitions are pretty much the same. I'm not aware of any major changes that has caused any kind of serious discrepancies with earlier editions.
Right. Well, I'm gonna do some reading on this Black's Law book.
Yeah, you guys should know all about it. Like I said, the Supreme Court uses those definitions in the matters that they hear, and that's the true definitions that need to be adhered to, not the Merriam-Webster definitions, because a lot of those are incorrect according to legal ideas anyway.
Yeah, and well, obviously we go off the Ohio Revised Code and the codified ordinances of Zanesville. So,
Well, right, but see,
they sound a little bit different than the blacks does. So I'm gonna have to look into that.
well, the reason why is because codes and statutes, it's corporate policy. It's commercial code. Those policies, those codes, those regulations, those statutes, they don't actually apply to men and women. They only apply to corporations and people conducting business as a corporation on the roadway. For example, like driving. Driving, the actual definition of driving is a person operating a vehicle while, I can't remember the verbatim. Basically, they're in the business of, or they're conducting business. They're providing goods and services. They're transporting services for a business purpose. That's what driving is. See, when I, as a man, just travel from point A to point B, the driver's concept, the driver's license, insurance, registration, all that stuff, that doesn't apply to me. But you guys haven't been taught correctly, so you guys appropriately apply those codes and statutes to people that they don't apply to. But people don't realize this. This is the whole trick. And so most people don't realize what their rights are, and so they just go along with it. And of course, I've got registration, I've got plates on my truck because I don't want to get pulled over and have guns put in my face because I don't have a piece of metal in my truck, or I don't have a card in my pocket. I do it for sheer safety reasons, not because I need to. But that's something you should check out too. As a matter of fact, if you got when you get time, there's a YouTube channel called It's Paul Unslaved.
Hold on.
Okay.
Say that again.
It's ITS.
Yeah.
Space Paul, Paul.
Uh-huh.
Space Unslaved, UNSLAVED. It's on YouTube. And specifically, if I were you, I'd watch, I think it's one of his first videos he posted, where he was pulled over by police officers. He didn't have a plate on his vehicle, he didn't have license, he didn't have registration, he didn't have insurance. And he explained to the officers the truth, and they let him go. They let him drive off. Because they lawfully couldn't do anything to him. Because this whole legal fiction that you guys are pushing, it doesn't apply to everyday men and women. It only applies to people performing commerce or I can't remember the word, not committing commerce, but conducting business.
All right, well, let me jump off here. I'm going to watch this YouTube stuff, man.
All right, yeah, and if you got any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm trying to be as patient as I can, man, but when this noise is so damn loud, it's roaring through my house, the banging and crashing and all this stuff. I can't even get any rest or relaxation. It gets frustrating. And then to deal with argumentative dispatchers. I mean, I'm trying not to get frustrated, but I wouldn't be frustrated if the public servants in the city would have done their job appropriately. And unfortunately, I've been subjected to fraud and abuse, harassment, intimidation, terrorism. I mean, hell, I was terrorized in my house multiple times, had my life threatened by officers. So, I mean, that's the cause of my frustration. So don't take it personally at all. I just want you.
I don't think.
What's
I'm
that?
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I just want you guys to do your job. I don't want to defund the police. I don't want you guys to go away. I just want you guys to do your job the way you're supposed to by law. So,
I get it.
And I'm a very passionate person. So don't mistake my passion for disdain or anything like that. I wholeheartedly want to see you guys do the right thing. It breaks my heart to see police officers and public servants ignoring the law, breaking the law, and abusing people. It's extremely concerning to me, and especially having served my country and having sworn an oath myself, I hold these things near and dear. And when I see people abusing oaths and abusing their positions and usurping authority, I'm a very passionate person. I take it to heart.
I understand that.
So, but I appreciate your conversation. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I wish more of the public servants would have a mind like you, but we'll see what happens as time goes on.
Hey, sometime I want to sit down and talk with you. about your military service.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. Maybe grab a cup of coffee or something.
All right, man.
All right. Well, you have a good day. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Yep.
Yep, you too.
Yep. All right. Bye bye.
Bye.